Let's turn to Ed Mills, Washington policy analyst at Raymond James. Mr. Mills, welcome. Good to have you here. What did you hear the president say with respect to either the economy or to trade or to inflation that gives you a sense of what's going to happen over the next year or so in terms of policy and maybe affect the markets?
Yeah, Tyler, I heard three things. One, Build Back Better is going to be Build Back Smaller. Number two, inflation, that's Jay Powell in the Fed's concern. Number three, Russia, he does not want to have a bright line, a red line, if you will, with their incursion in the Ukraine. From a market perspective, the first one, Build Back Smaller, there is probably going to be a significant amount of energy tax credits if anything gets done. To Steve Grasso's point, we still have the infrastructure bill that a lot of people don't remember on inflation in the Fed. That's political cover for Powell to raise rates. That should be good for financials. And the final piece, where we could have some growing geopolitical risk, that's a market risk overall. Does that further drive sentiment to the negative? But in the near term, that's good for the defense stocks as well as commodities.
Well, and that's certainly what Steve just pointed out, some of the defense stocks, General Dynamics, Lockheed's, and so forth. Ed, did you hear anything in his comments other than sort of, hey, Fed, go get inflation, that he plans to do to fight inflation? He did reference briefly, glancingly, the idea that he might use anti-competitive law against the big four meatpacking companies to try and spur competition and bring prices down there. Is that a realistic idea?
I'm not sure if it's realistic, Tyler, that we'll see action, but you've seen a significant shift in conversations in D.C., especially among the Biden administration and congressional Democrats. The message is it's not our fault. It's not the Fed's fault. The fault is with the big businesses who are getting outsized profits. I would expect that to be more pressure from the Federal Trade Commission, more pressure from the Justice Department, Antitrust Division, to push their competitiveness agenda. He signed an executive order back in July. He's going to hold another meeting later this month. The rhetoric is going to increase. I think that could impact multiples on some tech stocks in addition to some of those inflation concerns. Can they get something done? That's where I'm a lot more skeptical, Tyler, at this point.